Hi everyone, welcome to another of my videos. Okay, I'm just continuing with the beginner courses for HTML and CSS. The project is product landing page. This is also one of these like suggested ones, basic ones you should start with. I'm kind of doing them myself and I'm showing you as well, so you can create something like already visually something without going into very much detail of the HTML and CSS, so you could actually have the power as well. So this is a product landing page and it's project number 3. So if you're moving forward and the list of the 10 simple websites to start coding in HTML and CSS, this is number 3 as I mentioned, and there's going to be 10 altogether. It will get I'm going to show different features later on, and it will gonna get complicated a little bit more, and I'm thinking about in future to actually do the advanced course as well. If you're already watching the video and you watched the previous two, then you don't need to set up the workspace and you don't need to listen to the same advice I usually give for doing these courses. Either you started with the third one or the second one. So if the third one and you just started out now, then you probably want to go through the setup and just know which software I use, just to have it all simple and the same. Right, you can port the minute and clipboard if you have set it up. Workspace setup. So okay, I'm going to use a text editor. It's a code editor, actually Visual Studio Code. That's from Microsoft. You can download it for free, and the link is below. Internet browser is going to use Mozilla Firefox. That's because some of the other browsers don't display the websites as properly as it should be, and they kind of don't understand the code. 7-zip software is only for Microsoft, but I'm going to use compressed files, and I'm going to start with the download from my website. The website is Bruno-Tech.com and download, so we're just going to use some files, some pictures, and some text from there, so you don't need to type all that much. So you can have also 7-zip as well. That's the link below. My advice, very quickly, code along. Yeah, that's very good. Forget about the pen and paper, because you can keep the websites and you know the code already. So you can open the website and you can open it on a code editor, and you already know what the features is and which ones you need. You might gonna take a snippet from the code from there. Switch between screens, that saves time. So Alt plus Tab, and it's switches in between the screens, the last two screens. So one is a code editor, the other one is the YouTube video you're watching, and you don't need to stop the video, you don't need to minimize the screen, you can jump one between the other one, and just put on a video, just press the space bar and it stops the video, and you jump between the screens, and it's Command Tab for the Mac. Most commonly questions, the problems that somebody watching videos usually have is actually that its code is not clear because of the quality of the video. That's usually because of the speed of the internet. So just increase the resolution to 1080 pixels. Okay, well, that's about my advice and everything, and let's begin, and we're going to start really simple with downloading the file. As usual, Bruno-Tech.com, you already know maybe, it's on the download section, and the link is below. Just scroll down and just need to get the last zip there is. That's the third one, and it says here on the right hand side, and then there's a fairly slow download, but right, so the files are downloaded and it's up here, and I'm just going to open my download folder. Should be back in a second, and I have my folder on the desktop as well, my websites. I have it open here. That's where I'm gonna keep all my projects for my reference for the later. So I'm gonna copy that here, and we're gonna unzip that in the folder. So okay, I'm gonna use 7-zip, and I'm gonna choose the extract to the project 3 product landing page folder, so it's going to give me the folder already ready to go. So the project is there. I have my Visual Studio Code. If you have the last project and all this, just open a new window and you can close the last one and you can start down there. The other thing that I have done, I'm just going to have the settings increased. It's already set up. It's on autosave. Autosave is here on the left hand side as well. You can just check it there. But you can want to make sure it's saved. New window. I'm just going to increase the font size to 18, and that's going to give me better resolution for everything there is. Higher resolution of code, you can see. So I'm just going to open a folder. We have a folder already. This is on my desktop, my projects. It's desktop. My websites, my websites is the folder I use. It's the third one. I'll just going to open that, and it's going to give us all the files on the left hand side already. Right, so you have the text document, you have all the 3 pictures there is, which is going to start with the index as usual. New file, HTML, and we're just going to use the same folder. We're going to stick in there as style CSS, the CSS file as well. So I'm just going to new file styles.css. Right, so welcome tab is no need for that. Index is here. We're definitely going to start with index, and of course doc type, and that's all going to be HTML, says the browser. It's a little bit the same typing, quite a bit too much, but that's how you get used to these things. And we're just going to start with the head. That's where the information, as you know, already goes for the Google, and defines the website. So I'm just going to go in equals, and it's going to be UTF-8. I explained it previously. That's the characters they use. HTML file is going to be using, so they're different categories. So it basically classifies 1 till 9 numbers, 1 till 0 maybe, and all the other regular characters. Another thing, HTML language, that helps us as well. If you do the search in English, and then since I'm in Germany, they give me the website in German, so that doesn't help. Even the title is actually in English, so that's the one. Okay, well, just the basic things. You might not want to go for the all. I'll just type the title. Right, you might not need that. Type the whole thing, and next one as well. This description. I understand, but this is how you actually get used to typing these things. This is a funny one. Let's just leave it as this. Right, so these things are already done. I have created a CSS file, so we're just going to link that straight away as well, and that's done in the header, as you already know. Just need to link the file. JSON is a style sheet. Okay, so that's why. And that's styles.cs. Right, so it's CSS file, everything is done, the pictures are there as well. Let's just create the some basics structure of HTML, so we can actually put the whole thing in as the header. I'm just going to go to the body, and I also going to be wrapping that in the article. Let's leave there, and that's a mistake. As the body goes here, it actually looks, the body looks after all the chapters, but I'm not going to use the body just because. So I'm going to close. The header is closed. That's the article, and I'm going to use the body for something else later on. And then we need the footer as well. You can style everything in body, actually the whole thing, but if you're working with the sections, what you usually do, you can actually copy and paste the code just to give the CSS layout as well, so it's not really all that. I'm just gonna, header is there, article is there, and that's all in the body, and we're just gonna have footer as well. Right, so we can actually go ahead, Control S, I'm just going to save these things now. This is just a basic structure. We can just go ahead and get some text out of here. Okay, and the header itself is just going to have a picture. So we're just going to place a picture inside, and we're going to use the image, and it's called storefront JPEG. Right, so it still needs lots of styling, and we're gonna get to the article as well just in a second. You're gonna do the footer, and this is the footer with the address comes, so we're just gonna grab the file document, open, double tap, and you get the footer as well, and this is here. Ctrl C to copy, Ctrl V to paste, and it's already here, and we need to just style that, as you know already, because the browser is not going to show anything if it's underneath there. So I'm just going to need to go on my websites, and it should be indexed there. Okay, all the documents, all the pictures, sorry, all the things. Let's open it with, I'm going to use Mozilla. Should give us at least a look how it's going to look, and just have text which is not formatted. It's not going to show anything, no decent layout, and the text is going to be a mess as well, and the pictures there on this all over the screen. Scroll down, can't even find the text anymore. No, text is there, just in the bottom. So we can get the text done actually, just to be spread it out. And it's going to be as simple as that. We're just going to H3 heading. Okay, autocomplete. I'm just going to skip that, and this is going to be a heading of H3. And of course, so this is address. So just to be perfectly aware what is what for the browser. And that goes under the address. I'm just gonna call that and press the tab, so it's under the address. Then we can close the address. Okay, still not going to show everything. I need to actually put some line breaks here, which is a tag that doesn't need any closing, just to save them, and just going to spread them out with the tab. I'm going to use that for a couple of things, just to make sure everything is going right. So I'm just going to refresh the screen, and the text is there, and it's all in one line now, so it doesn't really help us. Now we're just going to take the break lines, and I'm just going to put them behind everything. That should fix it. As simple as that. And it's an address tag, so that's all done as well. So text document, we're going to put it on the side. Styles itself. So there's the things I'm going to do now. I'm just going to do open these curly brackets. We need header. We need article. And I'm not going to style the body at the moment. We're just going to work through the sections, and it's of course it's a proper way to actually do assign the font and all these things. But this is also just to show you that all these sections work a slightly bit differently, and we need an image as well, and there's a trick for image to do. This is not going to be on the previous project. You can do this as well. You can literally put it in a box, and the image size is going to be as well automatically adjusted for the automatically adjusted for the size of the screen which we want, and this is margin left. I showed you this trick as well. It's an auto, so the HTML already positions everything, and we need margin right. I'll set it in auto as well. And this kind of completes the top of it, and all the other sections are actually pretty much the same, so you don't need to type the whole thing. Control copy, you can paste it here and here as well. Just about that. With the image, I'm just going to set up the max width. Now you can see it's actually wrapped in header. Header is the pretty much layout. You can't actually. This is the margin right. This is not. This is margin, and you can see it highlights wherever the mistake is, and then you can go from there. For the image as well, for it to actually be responsive, I'm gonna need to actually have the max width, and I misspelled it here. Okay, max width. Can go with 100%. And then it automatically does the percentage as well, and just to save this and just have a look what's going on. So the image should be already in a header, so it's already 60%. The footer is as well, and then we need to list. We're gonna list the products they have. It's a very simple way, but this is a bit more complicated because you have one next to another, and it's still responsive. So if you just go, as I mentioned, this is the second way to do it. The picture is responsive. It's in a header folder, in a header section. So and you have the footer as well, but I need two products, and this is usually put in containers, so it's a slightly bit different than the other ones. And I'm just going to put in the div classes. This is how you separate them, and let's just go back to the index. And this is where we're going to start, and this is the article section. This is the one I left blank before this, and so the header is closed. Article can start here from as well. We're just going to space them like that, and we're just going to do the assign the class. I'll show you what the class is. So just a moment. So the class, we're going to use this. Put it in a container, and this is how you do that. We're going to close it in a second as well. And we have two classes. We're just going to have under the container, because container is going to be a text and a picture next to left to it. That's how you align it. And we just need another div class. So it's going to be image. So that's where the image is going to go in. Okay, we can close that. And the container continues, so we're not going to close the class now. We're just going to go another class. We just need another class for the text. So that's when we can actually put the whole things in already. So the div class is closed, and we can close the container as well. So I'm just going to go down, and that's going to close the container. That's closing the container. So we need the image here, and we need text as well. So the first product is going to be drinks. So put the image in, and drinks JPEG, and we're going to put alt text just to be semantically correct about this all. So the image is already in container and all this. I haven't specified none of the classes at the moment. I'm just going to need to put in the whole text in here, and for this div class text, okay, image is closed. We're going to have some text here, and this is going to go to document. I know I have some two chapters here, so we use the address. And we have two chapters here, and we're just going to take one of them. And the same as an address, just copy, Control V to paste, and it's all here. So snake oil drinks itself, I'm just going to put the header 3 as well. So lots of these things look the same, and they're not all the text different sizes. I used it for the for the footer. Yeah, we'll just need to space this out and just mark all of them and hit the tab button so we know it's underneath the class, and we can start here and just have the paragraph. So definitely going to be smaller than H3, and that's what we want. So I'm just going to close it here as well. Okay, so text, container, nothing is spaced out. So it all goes in a container. We need to specify container, how the image is going to look on text as well. We hit Ctrl S and we can have a look at least what it looks like, but it's going to be a mess. So the bottle is in the middle. We need the bottle on the left, and we need all the text on the right, and it needs to fit in, and it needs to be responsive, because this is nothing, doesn't do anything at all almost. So it's still in both of the boxes. So the bottles are also in a box. So the size, it does reflect it, but we want of course the title of the whatever item it is, and we know the description on the right hand side. So it does make the picture responsive already, but we just really need to put everything in containers, and there's going to be two products itself. So we're just going to need to go back in styles, and we're going to do the classes. So the classes, so the image max width, that's for all images there is, and the footer or not. So it's an attribute for all the images. So max width is going to be 100. What we need to do is we need to take the flexible container, and the classes start with a point, and we're just going to place it, and we're just going to try to make it super responsible for this. And so this is how it goes. It says it needs to be flexible. Align items. So and I want the top one. I want the items to be next to each other. So we're going to center them, and just need the P button, P letter there, and justify as well, just to float them, justify. So they float in the middle of their assigned areas, so you can actually have a space in between them. So that's a container, and we're still working right down. The images as well, there's image class and there's a text class. So we're just gonna go just a short img, and that should be a point. Right. Okay, and then we need a text class as well. So it's a text. So because not all the images in the container are going to be different than the other one, the big one on top, of course. So that's why you need to specify that. And as I mentioned, how you assign the class. So this is the container one. Then you have the image class. So the image is all going to be separate, and the text is going to be different as well than the footer. So the layout is going to be the same, different, and you just need to type assign a class here. And image, we just need on a basis, we just need to put them the flex. This is assign the size of the image itself. We're just going to put 95% on this one. Okay, semicolon, and the text is as well just here. We're just going to put the font size. And we're just going to use one rem. That's accordingly to other texts, so need to specify that for all of them, so you can have some text smaller, some text bigger from this. If there is different text and different containers, so I'm just going to padding left 20 pixels. So this is actually going to on the left. So if you think like the picture should be on the left, and the text should be on the right. So you actually have some space there between them, and I also wanted on the footer as well. So I'm just going to do that in a second as well. So the text padding and text align is justify as well. So it's spread out equal parts. Align, justify. Okay, that should actually do the trick. Control S to save. Let's have a look how it looks. It should actually go already in, yeah, So it's over there. I did mention there's going to be a second product as well, so let's have a look how it looks on the one. So yeah, well, the picture shrinks, the text is there, heading is bigger, text could have EMs used, but we're going to use this. And since we have the container, everything is ready. I mentioned about 2 products, and I'm just going to undo that. So since we have everything here, we need a class container. It needs to go inside. The thing we need to have is a second container, and we're just going to copy and paste that. So it's going to be another container. Have this. It's still inside an article, and we need the div tags just to separate the whole thing. And this comes out, and you have a second one. And let's say the second one is going to be we're just gonna need drinks. Well, this is gonna be perfume. Alt snake calling perfume. Okay, text is down here, and this is H3, and this is perfume as well. So you have two products already, and you just need to type the text, the code actually on only once. So you just save this. And let's have a look, refresh the page, and you have the second product down there as well. And as I mentioned, we need some space here on the footer where the address is, because it sticks to the bottom of the screen. And I'm just gonna get a footer here. It's just marking bottom, and we're gonna have this 40 pixels. Okay, Control S. Okay, we are on bottom here, yes. And you have a margin here, so you have a space here. So it's a simple website. Actually, there's 2 products here. The top picture is responsive as well. The pictures on the bottom are responsive as well. Drinks, we have the text. You have the website. It's very basic. You know the new grid already. You can space them out, use for other projects, of course. H3 heading, okay. Addresses on the bottom, and this pretty much concludes the this project. So I did mention I'm keeping it very simple, just to show the basics, and maybe just probably you need to go ahead with more advanced courses and another 10 projects later on, which is gonna take more time than this one here. And yeah, so this is the end of it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're gonna watch the next ones as well. All 10 projects. I'm gonna make them more interesting, more different features, and a bit more complicated later on. As always, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one.